this is CuriCat1306, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Delonghi Pinguino portable air conditioner. So, let's start with the look of it. It has a hose in the back that connects to an opening in your window if you want it to be efficient and if you don't want any hot air to leak out into your house. Then I recommend going to town on insulation. As you can see, I have spent a lot of time over here putting foam and other stuff to block the air from coming out, because if you don't do that, then this isn't exactly, without the foam over here, it's not exactly insulated. So once you turn the air conditioner on, the hot air will be just going everywhere from here. So, and if you have a hose that is kind of short and you have a window that's kind of high up, like this, that's the floor, that's the window, then I recommend using a different hose. That's what we did, because the one that comes with the actual air conditioner is kind of small. It's short, so it's not that short, but if your window's high up, it's not going to reach. It comes with a handy remote control. You can see here. Has on and off, Arctic Whisper mode, and other modes, the temperature control, fan control, timer, and swing. If you do swing, then the flap is just going to go up and down like that. And it also has a nice tray for the air conditioner remote to rest in. So you put it in like that. And so you may have noticed that it has a touchscreen display, and yes, it is touchscreen. It's actually not as bright as it looks on the camera. You may have noticed that the remote control actually has more functions and buttons than the actual air conditioner buttons have. So the air conditioner touchscreen doesn't have the option for Arctic Whisper and other modes, and the swing and timer. It's not very loud, and the cord is quite short, so you may need an extension cable. So let's fire this thing up. It's not too loud, but if you are really sensitive to noise, then I recommend not getting a portable air conditioner at all, and maybe looking more forward to a window air conditioner, since those are actually more efficient and most of them are quieter. But I think this one's quiet enough. So let's turn it on. Normally it might take 3 to 5 minutes for the compressor to actually turn on and begin the cooling. Sometimes it doesn't do that. Sometimes the cooling begins immediately. This thing has 4 functions: dehumidify, ventilate, which is just a fan, but it's not actually cooling anything, heat mode, and dehumidify, and air conditioner. So I'm just gonna turn it on to air conditioning mode. So press the on button over here. As you can see here, sorry if you can't hear me that well over the camera, but it's blowing pretty hot air, cold air over here, and over here it is blowing pretty warm air already. It begins cooling quite fast with the compressor on. It does use quite a lot of electricity, but it cools the room decently well. The room is not that big, and we do get a lot of heat here in California, but it is blowing quite cold air over here. The radiator, if you take off the filter right here, you'll see the actual cold radiator, and that's The filter is behind this grid, and let's try some new functions on this. So let's try to swing. As you can see, the flap starts going up and down. So yeah, enough with that. Let's turn it off now. For some reason, when the compressor stops and the air conditioner turns off, it shudders. Like the whole thing shakes. Also, this thing is very heavy, so if you want to carry it up some stairs or something, thinking that it's as light as a feather, it's not. It's really heavy. So, unless you have carried a lot of heavy things before and you're used to it, then I recommend using at least 2 people to hold this thing up. It has a self-evaporative system, so the water that forms in the radiator is just the fan that blows on the hot radiator that's somewhere in there. Hard to show you, but it's somewhere in there. Hard to show it on camera. It throws the water on the hot radiator to improve efficiency, then just moves the steam through the hose and outside. So that it does come with a drain hole with a optional hose over here, a mini hose with a plug on it. But so far I never even had to use that before, because the self-evaporative function is usually enough for it. If you live in like a not really humid place like California, like me, then you probably don't need. You probably won't have to drain the water out of here. If you live in Florida, then you probably will, because there's a lot of humidity in there. So yeah, it also comes on roller wheels, so you can move it around easily. And yeah, it's a pretty decent air conditioner. This is actually the most powerful version yet, at least in 2020. But so far, I think it's a pretty good air conditioner. It is pretty expensive, but it does its job well. So yeah. Oh, and I would recommend putting some insulation or something on this hose, because when the air conditioner is on, at least on air conditioning mode, the hose gets really hot, and it might start to heat up the room a little bit while the air conditioner is actually trying to cool the room. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some insulation on this, maybe more foam, or we don't know, so it won't heat the room as much, because this is like a heater over here when the air conditioner is turned on. So I would recommend covering this up with something, but if this is a more temporary solution, you can just go ahead and put it in the way it was supposed to be, because it's not that much of a problem. But we're keeping it here for a long time, because here in California the summer heat lasts for a really long time, so we need it for a long period of time, so we decided to insulate it. It's a really simple installation. You can still open your window and close it. Just make sure to close it tightly before turning the AC on. So yeah, if you decide to install it normally without any of the extra insulation, even this insulation, the simple insulation that we added here, does not require any tools. You do not have to be an expert at anything to install this, except you might have to be strong to lift this, but other than that, pretty simple installation. great air conditioner,